Speed Gaming, and welcome to today's edition of the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race, and we are throwing it all the way back to the beginning today with a casual race. So we see the full opening, guaranteed the sword. Other than that, it's wherever the game's logic takes us. And our runners today, on the left, Hayfield Bay, on the right, Aku Heish, and we're underway. And Pennsylvania saying we're going to have a very bad time, starting with 10 arrows. And I am Leslie, stepping in to commentate for today's race. And our track today is Mr. Scrap Ninja Tuna. I did see that quick mic check, and it does appear as though we have a red crystal at Eastern. That's all I got out of that. Do I need to turn myself down here? Alright, hang on. Alright, so at this point, our runners are making their way through Escape. I do see that we have the main means we don't have to do that. And we got our shield. Team never buy a shield for life. Out of my side, and we've got our king, we've got our princess now to make our way through Escape. Plus, we've not seen a bomb drop yet, because that's what our runners really hope to see in this type of setting, the bomb drop, so they don't have to come back later. Now, Hayfield Bay slightly ahead by a couple. Oh, halfway? Okay. Hang on 1 second, folks. Check 1, 2, Roger Wilco. Ah, got it. Hit the sweet spot. Love to see it. Since soldiers didn't drop anything, maybe the enemies in the sewers will be kinder in providing perhaps the rope. Now, Hayfield Bay is just running right past them. Did get a 5 rupee drop, though, which is good for buying bombs, but is not interested. More interested in speed and getting out of here. Makes sense. This is a very quick escape. Blink and you missed it. Well, that's interesting. Fairy drop, match drop, 20 roots drop. Oh, there's an A-bomb pack for Hayfield Bay. But Akuhite not so lucky, so this is advantage Hayfield Bay. But nothing of value, just money in a heart container. So Akuhite did not miss out on too much by not getting that bomb drop, but he's probably going to come back later. Admittedly, the backtracking doesn't help, and there's a boomerang at escape. Now, we didn't get any major progression that opened anything up, so it's just going to be a standard opening into Kakariko, but running from the guards, as Link does in this game. On the tree, and it just green rupees. That's a letdown. Oh, but the bug is providing the money. By dropping big 20s as it's getting chased. You love to see it. Green rupees from the tree pole, not so much. And that's a piece of heart at Lumberjack. Aga 1 for that. We might need Aga 1 later on, but whether that happens or not, we will see. Nothing great in the Lost Woods so far at all, but there was a heart container. Akuhai said, no thank you. No thanks to the piece of heart. Kakariko's going to be different between our runners because Hayfield Bay still has bombs. Akuhai does not. So what Akuhai is going to have to do is buy bombs or check the 50-50 bushes for bombs. Oh, we got a Canis Tamaria for Hayfield Bay, who also then next proceeds to stop at big bucks. Or, well, this gamble's not going to pay off, but I see what he's doing here, hoping for bombs. Which Akuhai is going to have to come back here to check this as well. Okay, I'm not Phantom Ryu. I'm not doing that. I saved that line specifically for him. Hayfield Bay down the well to get the Ether Medallion. Akuhai still behind him, even without any bombs. So far, all those bomb checks are going to be, in this case, lost time. Ooh, got a bottle. 10 arrows. Oh, that's going to speed it up dramatically as we have an Ocarina. Don't worry, I got you covered, Professor. So, when activating the flute here, as it's called in this game, both runners are on the left side of the screen, as that gets the duck off the screen faster. A small time save, if you will. Split checks here. The bottle check is just 5 rupees, while the chicken coop has got some explosive ordnance that needs removal. And there's a glove. Look at the bar. That's our first big piece, but we do have not only Death Mountain open, we also have fast travel available to us, so getting around the overworld on the light world side is going to be so much easier. We see now Akuhesh going back through Kakariko to pick up things that were left behind. It was nothing major, but this is just going to be a time loss here. Prize of the race game is a heart container, so Hayfield Bay is going to fly off the South Shore. And now, bottom of the well, bomb check is going to be nothing but not what you hope to see. Well, we're not going on an ice rod hunt this seed. We just found it in the dam. And draining the dam, it's just a heart container. Or as someone in another Zelda random community I know would say, you gotta have heart. And here come more 20s for Hayfield Bay. That is a great way to farm money in this game, as if that bug is dropping big 20s. So Akuhesh not bothering with race game or library, may come back to that later, maybe gambling that it's nothing. Well, if it's the latter, then he's absolutely right, because this time it was a whole lot of nothing there. There's a cape, a hammer. We're just a moon pearl away from Dark World access. And Mini Moldorm Cave was the cave of stopping at big bucks. And there's a blue pendant at Desert, blue crystal at Hera. I got crossed up in what I wanted to say there. And nobody's perfect. And the sun prize is not going to be anything that can be pursued in this game. It is just a green rupee. While our Ice Rod Cave has a piece of heart. Oh, wow. I was about to say an advantage of early flute is getting over to Agena early, but Hayfield Bay just got some very valuable information as to where the Moon Pearl is. Desert Ledge. And there's 2 ways to get it. Which will show up today? Will it be Two Gloves and Mirror or Book? We already have the ocarina, rather the flute. I'm too used to later Zelda games that play call it the ocarina, if anybody can't tell. Yeah, it is rare to play casual without boots to start for one. And on top of that, this is basically the OG mode. And we've got ourselves our first real out of logic gameplay of the seed, if you want to call it that. Make for oh, watch out! That hurts! That hurts! Those crabs do too hard damage. Their green pennant today is going to be Misery Meyer. There's a mirror, so if Titans Mitch, damn, it's like you know what I'm about to say. I was going to say if the Mitch shows up, Hayfield Bay can get to the Moon Pearl and does Dark World access. Well, now we get to see what the Kingzor Sam is today. The heart container that is going to get picked up. In fact, that's going to really come in handy for this required bunny run to get to the Moon Pearl, because those murder dactyls do a lot of damage. We're getting ourselves the old man play. Hayfield Bay is really following the logic well to this point in the seed. Flippers and a big 20. Now, it's mentioned in chat, and one of the qualifier seeds I played had years ago. And the Dark World access was that very same play that chat just mentioned. Bunny run to checkerboard cave with mirror to get your Moon Pearl. Yeah, there were some folks not happy after that day. Also, to get into Meyer is the Quake Medallion, and Hayfield Bay is going to hold off on Dark World for just a moment and do some flipper checks. I look at Spectacle Rock Cave there, but I didn't see what it was, but it appears to be something of value, as Akuhesh is going directly for it. Oh, that's boots. That actually swings the pendulum slightly towards Akuhesh, because in terms of just overall movement, that's the way to go. So now this just became interesting. Hayfield Bay has the advantage of having Dark World access. Akuhesh has the advantage of having boots. The longer Hayfield Bay avoids that mountain, the greater that advantage becomes for Akuhesh. But will it play a difference? Stay tuned, folks. Well, those boots block a hook shot. Their fairy here is giving us green green potion. Well, it'll help for, say, Ice Palace, Turtle Rock, and any place that needs a lot of magic. But hey, sometimes you just need a refill. Lack of escape checked by Akuhesh and done rather quickly with those boots. I have a feeling. Oh no, the dead rocks strike again, and so do the Plinko rocks. Although, to be fair, I'm going to call them Super Plinko rocks, because this is the Super Nintendo version of the game. Yeah, that is chainable, as chat mentions. If you push it just right, You can change that and get that darn dead rock out of your way, and our other pennant is at Swamp Palace. I didn't see where the other red crystal was, but we're about to see the artist formerly known as Hyperion. More overhyped cave, as Cat mentioned. Yeah, this is true. Well, there's Wake Medallion. I don't know how much in a book. It's non-zero. I'll leave it at that. Interesting setup, because now our pennant dungeons can be cleared, so Pedestal has a non-zero chance of having something here. And yes, I agree. Yeah, it was the one way to get the pearl, because the book was in the Dark World. And we're about to get our first look at the Tower of Hera. Hera. What are words? Well, now, that's a nice find. Half magic. Big piece, no basement just yet. Oh, we're about to see a Hera pot. A high-speed Hera pot. Because that is a hook dash. Oh, there we go. Big games, the 1 2/3 step to get the item. And I'm going to assume that based off activation's movement. Oh, 4 digs for the final shield. Based off activation's movement, that's both items out of Hera. Nothing major, but gotta clear it, so might as well. Fun part about having hammer against Voldemort is it's just like baseball. 3 strikes, it's out. So yeah, Scott said that C in the upper left of the dungeon means it's a crystal dungeon, and that shows up if you actually know what the dungeon is. Because there are modes where you don't know what the dungeon is, specifically Key Sanity. Or any sort of map shuffle will do that. Spiral Cave on the right, on the left. The Smith turn-in just turns out to be 20 rupees, so it's plus 10. Nikolai off Death Mountain about to get the news about where the Moon Pearl is. Now with that knowledge, this just got extremely interesting. It's hard to say who's going to come out on top in this particular seed, because both runners have key items that the other doesn't. Oh, I see. Hayfield Bay returning to the portal that they dropped to do Thieves Town checks. Not what I was expecting there, but we'll see how this plays out. We have not seen anything in Thieves Town yet, but the thing to keep in mind is the longer Hayfield Bay avoids Spectacle Rock Cave, the more likely Akuhite pulls ahead. And that's a prize I've seen before. Oh, I see. Check it later. Hmm, good call. Not going to yield anything, but a good play. And on Akuaish's end, always follow up your mischecks, folks. If you get our first look at these now, that's a piece of heart in the first chest. Coming up on the ambush chest now, named for the two Zols that ambush you after you approach it. That's a small key. Now the big key is always in the first four in non-key sanity modes in Thieves Town. So we're gonna find it in either the next chest we open, or we are going to find it in its vanilla chest. And that's right. I'll get Dark World access because that's the mirror, that's the mix. There's the big key. Now the big key has something different in it. Let's see what it is. A map. Wow. Mostly unnoteworthy part 4. And with that, we've got our Dark World access. I almost want to see after I dive desert here because it's one of those where something could be in there. It's clear a bowl. Oh, 5-6 Thieves Town. So Hayfield Bay is going after one of the two big bomb crystals right now. Good call. I like this play. And Professor Renderer is right. Hybrid major glitches is the community dive into a very wacky world of glitch mode, one that I almost triggered inadvertently during a race that I had already lost. And I'm like, I was so glad I didn't do that because I would have been screwed. I will leave it at that. I think at this point, Akuhash is making the play for East Dark Death Mountain and the Turtle Rock area to see, is it something I can open up now, or do I need something later? That was a compass in the big chest, and so far nothing major in Thieves Town, and it's the Quake Medallion to get into Turtle Rock, so that is a slight advantage on Hayfield Bay's end, but he's not going to know that just yet. And what's Blind's ton today? Yep, novice skiers aren't the only ones that jump to conclusions. I'll leave it at that. So the way the blind fight works is the RNG is on a script. So if you follow the same script in your movement, you'll get the same result every time. Yeah, I believe Misery Mire was Quake, so in this seed, Quake is the one medallion. We just got ourselves a bug net in Hookshot Cave, so you can call that a net gain. for Akuhai, who I believe also grabbed flippers out of not Super Bunny, Meyer Shed. Woods area, Hayfield Bay goes. This could also be a pedestal check. And Akuhai is about to get Quake and the book. Well, we got Bombos, so now it's possible to do Ice Palace with that pickup. And that may be why Hayfield Bay is leaving, maybe thinking there's something at Ice Palace. I don't know about that. Personally, I've never been a fan of Fighter Sword Cold Stare. Let's look at the pyramid today. What do we got? That's a lamp. Dark rooms now enter logic. Yeah, and with those boots, Akuhaish is going through those overworld checks a lot faster, which is really making the time close to even, I would say. You see what Hayfield Bay is doing here. Burning the green potions, upgrading to blue. That is a play I would make myself for Ice Palace if I had Fighter Sword or less. Even with Master Sword, I'd still have a blue potion, because dying to Cold Stare is a big time loss no matter how you slice it. Icebreaker or not, that's still a very painful time loss. Ooh, Akuhaish got bopped by the poison flower. Those also, like many things in the Dark World, do a lot of damage. And Hayfield Bay is busting out the Bombos here, which will do the job of taking care of those Pen Gators, but another way to do it is to use the Quake Medallion, and if they're not airborne, they all die instantly without the extra burn animation that Bombos has. And now we got a pod check. I like this play for one reason. If you're in doubt, coming here often is the answer. Will that be the case today? Maybe. Got ourselves an icebreaker set up on Hayfield Bay's end. Struggling with it a bit. Personally, I could... Oops, gets its second try. Nice. And it's a mat. Now in the H room, as I've come to call it myself, personally. That's a small key. Now we're getting ourselves another check, and oh, that's the big key. Yeah, that stairway clip is not easy to do. And when you do hit it, you actually save a few seconds. It's really cool to do. And we got ourselves a mimic clip on Akuhaishi's one. The mimic goes off screen and the door opens. It's one of two ways to get through this room without a bug. That's par for the course for me. Can't ever seem to do a cast without the phone going off. It's all good though. Anyway, while the big key that was picked up was out of logic, it will enable the big chest to be checked. So if that winds up being a bow, that means logically it's a bow-locked bow. On Hayfield Bay's end is a cold stare fight. This is a very difficult fight at Fighter's Sword or less because you're basically using swordless strats of using the hammer plus swing the sword when absolutely necessary. Because at this point, it is the hammer that does the most damage. Oh, do not get hit. Well, good thing you had those potions because otherwise that'd be dicey because cold stare does a stupid amount of damage on contact. Chat pointing out Hayfield's movements are so crisp and nice. His movements have been crisp all seed. I could stand to learn a thing or two from that myself. And Cold Stare is defeated. Nice work. Only had to use one potion. That's crystal number 2. And now we get our first look at Eastern. Some runners will run into here right away early game. Others will wait until they're in pod. And now Hayfield Bay is about to hit Turtle Rock. Or no, not Turtle Rock, but he's eventually going to get there first. It's going to be Spectacle Rock Cave that's going to give him the boots. That is a good question, chat. And our map chest gives us big bucks. 300 rupees and a spin. Here's the big key for Eastern. And Hayfield Bay is about to get the bad news about what was here. It's good news for him, but it's really not so good news because Akuhaishi was here sooner. I'd use a pause buffers to set up for this bomb jump, which is a 2-pixel window. And unlike others that we can use to make it a 6-pixel window with a bonk, we can't do that there. Oh, that's a compass in the big key chest, so Akuaish is just going to save and quit out. Bo is not going to be in a nice spot in this seed, I can already tell. It's either in a pennant dungeon or it's in Turtle Rock. And a lot of where we can go in Turtle Rock. Oh, there's a bow spot. We just need a sword. Ether tablet for a sword will give us a bow. So yeah, the value of Hype Cave that we got just went up a little bit more. That is a bow on the Ether tablet. We just need a sword. Which means at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if said sword were either inside Turtle Rock or inside a pennant dungeon. Because at this point, we're running out of places to check here, so those would have to be it, I would think. Hayfield Bay taking on Moldorm. Gonna go for the same strat here. Don't get knocked off now. There we go, there we go. I don't think he goes for boots checks just yet. Here's why. He's already up here on Death Mountain. He's going to check the rest of this first before anything else. In fact, I thought he was about to go open up Turtle Rock right now. But nope. Ah, yes, I do. I am also a fan of the Mega Man X sprite. Another series I grew up with. Alright, I see what Hayfield Bay is doing. Setting the portal outside of Paradox Cave so then he can do Super Bunny Cave afterwards. It is nice and quick. I did not see Bo on Hayfield Bay's side. Just like, wait, what? I'm gonna want to see a pause menu here or something. Who's been running low on hearts for a lot, or not as many hearts throughout the seed. Yeah, we still don't have Bumblebee. It's a bit of a what I like to call a false start offense. Football fans will get that joke for sure. here comes Aku's blind fight. Does have the case out as backup just in case things go sideways, but he's looking alright. Not chancing it, I can respect that at 3 hearts. We're gonna see other strats here? I feel like we might. Nope. Okay, I will admit sometimes the games do feel rigged with some of the mistakes the refs make. They're still fun to watch. Really stuff that's scripted, that's pro wrestling, but that's neither here nor there. We're about to get a look at Turtle Rock now. How far we get in Turtle Rock is going to largely depend on key logic. If the first chest is not a small key, then that's it. You need enough keys in progression to proceed through to get to certain checkpoints. Okay, Professor PBA Bowling, I grew up on that. I have great memories of that. I don't get to watch it as much as I used to due to having a life and adulting and whatnot. But still, some great stuff. That's a compass, so we're out of Turtle Rock already. And Aku's not interested in the lag shield. And yeah, this is definitely boot checks, no doubt about it. Oh, that's a blue mail. So X is upgraded armor. Yeah, the reason the darts guy yells 1 is because it's the max score you can get on a dartboard for one set of 3 darts. There's a hook shot for Hayfield Bay. With this item loadout, Swamp Palace certainly looks like the best play here, just from an item density standpoint. I would not be surprised if Swamp has a sword or 2 at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if a Fire Rod is there. Yeah, this could be a hook shot cave check for Hayfield because he was not able to hover it. Although to be fair, at hovering, not everybody can be Andy. We try, but there's only one. As for AEW, I am not singing Chris Jericho's theme on chat because I do not want to get the VOD muted. Rather on comms, but you know what I mean. Naku is going to get the setup for turning in the potion, turning in the chest without appearing there. If you move close enough to where the thief is, you get credit for it anyway. So this Bombos tablet is a piece of heart. So the Bombos tablet is nothing of value. Now, speaking of folks who dress up during darts matches, I swear, over the last few pro wrestling shows I've gone to, there's always some jabroni in a Hulk Hogan cosplay. Aku's closing in on Bombos now. Hayfield left here without checking for a second item, so that could be something big, or Aku's coming back here to see what to grab, to see what's back here, as well as check pedestal, which Hayfield did not do. Small key in the big key chest. And Aku's proceeding through. This is definitely a ped check, folks. Let's see if the pedestal is something of value today. Be it a bow, a fire rod, or a sword. That's what we're looking for here. Survey said, that's our final rupee horde, so Pet is dead. And we do have a Swamp Palace dive for Hayfield Bay. Of the Pennant Dungeons, this one makes the most sense because it's a 6-item check. It's slower, but we just don't have the options right now to warrant going anywhere else other than, say, desert. Or getting the green pennant out of Mire, but that's even slower. I do believe that was a Bombos pickup from Aku. Now we get to see some other checks that Hayfield missed. Pop Prison, a map. A big key. Great pass through with the hook shot and a small key, so Hayfield didn't miss anything major. So you're probably thinking, wait a sec, he's flooding the key. No! Well, what Hayfield Bay is about to do is a little thing called Diver Down, and in doing so, he's still able to grab a flooded key. And he just made that look super easy. Spoilers, it's not. And Aku's in Ice Palace did not see anything of importance here earlier. But that being said, Aku's going to have to be careful with that stair fight. Also, in terms of seed rolling, if it's me, it's either a really good seed or a really bad seed. There's almost never any wiggle room. Powder. That opens up Magic Bat, so that is particularly of interest. So if nothing else is found in here, then powder could be the key to a sword. Also, first try icebreaker from a coup. Hangs a diver down for Hayfield Bay. Fire Rod! Tenant Swamp finding a way to make its presence known in this seed. I'm assuming no. Now, we also know that there's one item in the back of Skull Woods, so that fire rod could be an answer as well. And the stress you can employ, Argus, when you don't have Master Sword, is spin slashes to damage the puffs. It works just like swinging the Master Sword. Even so, even with just a fighter sword, these puffs are falling super fast. And Argus has been given the cold shoulder. I do believe Hayfield's going back in for the big chest. As where the big key was not convenient for any sort of getting it right away. Isiaku's going to spin strats with the cape. Pretty much an emergency strat here just for self-preservation. I did not see what was at the swamp big chest as I am kind of focused on this cold stare fight here. Going right for the potion refill. Good call. Oh, his bombs. Okay, so nothing major. That is one puff down. So this strat is working. The half magic also helps here for the magic drain. Oh, double play! Pulls through, well done. Blue potion on the island, so we have all 4 bottles accounted for. Or is that just 3? No, that's 3. Never mind. Math is hard. Just ask Samoa Joe. Wrestling fans know exactly what I'm getting at there. But now we see the back of Skull Woods. Half magic, fire rotting these Gibdos, no problem. No need to worry about wasting magic either. And with an extra key, that Gibdo lives. Oh, Hayfield came close to getting grabbed out of the hole. That is a thing that can happen. And also a thing, the room for the moth fight. It is not a fun room to fight in because if you hit Mothfield into the spikes, the damage nullifies. And one final bonk with the hammer, and Mothula is down. That's red mail. That is the second item. So Skullwoods is done. That was not the answer. Hayfield about to get the pet news that it is 300 rupees. Now, I did not see if Hayfield checked Magic Bat. That would be a check that I would make because sword. No, the red crystal was Thieves Town, and the other red crystal is going to be... is actually Eastern. Oh, I see. Hayfield's going back to Turtle Rock to deal with it now. Because if a sword winds up being in here, Hayfield can essentially enter go mode. Chat points out sword mode, not something you see very often. There was a version of the randomizer that seemed to have this annoying thing of putting multiple swords in GT. That was fun. No. So the only bow information we have is Ether Tablet, so it is sword information we're after to get that bow to hit go. No Spike Cave yet, although with half magic and cape, getting there wouldn't be a problem. There's Big Key and Fire Rod for Aku. And Aku is dipping out. As Aku entered, knowing this was a pendant dungeon and knowing that they're feeling there's nothing of value left, so he's out of there. And this time he's going to be surprised to find out that that was the correct call. One thing I will say is that if this were an all-casual, all-dungeon seed, this would be a very interesting AD seed. I'll say that much, personally. And Hayfield's been bunny beamed as we see the silhouette of Dr. Thomas Light is the bunny sprite, and the Big Key is at its vanilla spot in the lava chest, so yeah. You weren't dodging that. Also, that gold armor you see is actually a hidden armor that can be collected in Mega Man X3. About to see Mimic Cave for the first time today. Now, bow hammer's a great way to deal with these mimics individually. And they did appear in Zelda 1 as gorillas. No boomerangs to throw at you this time, though. Personally, I think that's a good thing. So Mimic Cave was nothing of value. Meanwhile, Aku's... Ew, 2 hearts. This is getting... Oh, this is getting real dicey. Look out. Careful. Oh, that spike got him back to start for Aku. And Crystal Roller Chest only had a blue rupee, so nothing of value there. Now, Hayfield doesn't have a lamp, but that's not going to matter here, because if you know the layout of the room, you can do the dark rooms out of logic. And this one's on a rail, so you just have to know the rail layout, know which way goes where, and you'll be fine. See what I mean? Aku, I would not recommend taking Gibdo hugs, although to be fair, that Gibdo hug might have saved you from getting wall mastered. Was it just me, or did we have nothing of value on Laser Bridge? That ain't what I was expecting with this seed, full disclosure. Purchase on Trinex. Now, Gator Sword Trinex, you're basically playing a low percent strat. So what Hayfield's going to be doing here is alternating between rods and hammer for optimal damage. Aku gets Mothula in the second attempt. Nicely done. And now getting some extra shots in with the Fire Rod for more damage on the Ice Head. That's phase 1. That's phase 2. Nicely done on the Trinex fight. Well, a heart container for beating a boss seems familiar, but not what I was expecting to happen here. Turtle Rock wind up being an empty check. So at this point, this leaves our options as Mire, Desert, or Spike Cave, or Magic Bat. Oh yes, Green Pennant could also have it too. And that's the other thing about Mire that might make it more tantalizing over Desert. While Desert is the shorter dungeon, Mire has the Green Pennant, so Mire would be seen through to its end. But then again, I don't think anybody wants to do Fighter Sword Vitreous, because that is a bad time, even with cape and spin strats. Yeah, if Sword's at bat, then Aku's in trouble, because that means by virtue of missing left side swamp, missed powder. Yeah, not a good time. Not a good feeling either. Magic Bat's answer is... No, $20. I wanted a peanut. A master peanut, that is. So yeah, we gotta go Southwest Hyrule. That's right, Hayfield hasn't done Pod or Eastern yet, so not going southwest here could be what swings this in Aku's favor at the end of the day. We shall see. Yes, knowing where the bow is has essentially turned this into a sword mode seed. For all intents and purposes, and we don't know. We're basically down to who goes southwest first. Who dives Desert and Mire first is probably going to be the one that winds up winning this, I would think. Yes, Aku already did Pod in Eastern, so we're getting a rehash of checks that we already have seen to this point in the seed. Into the hard bow requirements, and Aku did mimic clip to see what was bow locked in Pod, which is the big key. So Hayfield's gonna have to do that at some point. Might be saving that for an in-logic play, as Aku's about to check out our old friends at the Mimic Cave. Well, that's going. Feel free to give both our runners a follow. I don't know why Aku's name isn't showing up, but I believe it's the same as it is in chat, as you see it on screen. And also there's Hayfield Bay's link, so give him a follow if you feel so inclined, as well as Aku. They're both doing great. And as always, I have been Leslie Pro with Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna on the tracking. Feel free to give us both a follow if you feel so inclined. And the harmless Hellway, just 3 moms, nothing major. Dark walking the Pod Dark Maze. This is not easy. Even if you know the maze layout, you don't know where the Kadongos are, so you could take damage very easily. A way to mitigate that is to use the Ether Medallion, if you have it, to freeze them in place. And the Dark Maze is just money. Aku, watch that first step, it's a doozy. And fortunately for Aku, he's about to find out what we already know. is that the laser bridge was a miss. Yeah, there's a reason why I don't call seeds good or bad early, because if you get a lot of items early, there's always this thought in my mind, and I think I learned this from Z1R, Zelda 1 Randomizer, for those not in the know. What's the catch? Slight misfire with the Alphos room strat there on Hayfield's end, but nothing too terribly major. Now, phase 2 for Aku. And Slow Guy in chat brings up the point about a front-loaded seed. The problem with it, because unless you're lucky, you'll have to look everywhere, and I know for a darn fact, usually I'm not one of the lucky ones. Except for maybe once in a blue moon. It is also this lack of luck as to why I don't play the lottery. That is Trinix down for Aku. I think the next move, it has to be southwest, because I see nothing else. Because they faded left side swamps, so they did not get powder, but that wound up being nothing. Wait a minute, they're heading for Spike Cave. I almost forgot they didn't do this. And when you have red male face tanking a Lionel isn't exactly as dangerous as it would be without one. So the lantern was on the pyramid. Hayfield has not gone to the pyramid. In fact, I don't even think Hayfield's done catfish either. Yeah, Hayfield's definitely going pyramid now. He'll see the lamp. I'm going to assume that's going to get picked up as well, but I could be wrong. Nope, grabbing it. If you're heading to Mire, this is a good thing to have, because those dark rooms can be torture without a light. And now it looks like Aku's taking a bit of a firmer foothold on this seed, because Aku's going to be the first into Mire. If Sword and or the other bow is here, then that puts Aku firmly in the driver's seat. Catfish was hiding bombs. I swear if this were Twilight Princess, that would be water bombs, but nope. Now here comes Hayfield into Mire. This is still going to be a close race no matter what happens with this. Wait a minute. We have a divergence point. Hayfield's going for the shorter option, going into desert. This just got real. This could be the decider on Restream here. That's Cana Burner, so that's one item down in Mire. Map on the torch in desert, so this was not boots locked. It easily could have been, you know. There's our big key, which means a small key is going to be in the big chest. That's how this dungeon's logic works. There's a bow in Mire. And Aku is out of there. So Aku is in sword mode. Hayfield is looking for said sword still. And Aku is out of there. Probably going to finish up Pod and Eastern right now and then enter GT. Maybe gambling that a sword is there. Okay, that compass is bad news for Hayfield because that means an item's going to be on the boss. And it's 20 rupees. Ooh, good use of the cane to trip the switch from that side. Not easy to do, folks. Got a land mola fight here. No, the bow was in... So right now, Aku definitely ahead. No doubt about that, because Desert was a whammy. At this point, I would not be surprised if we had a 3-sword Ganon's tower, because right now that is what it's shaping up to look like. Which, I'll be honest, the randomizer does not do this very often. But the fact that it's possible, I just feel the runner's pain on this one. Now, Helmasaur opts to drop a fireball. Those fireballs explode clockwise, so after the first one explodes, you can easily line up where they're gonna go as a result. Although in this phase, Helmasaur decides to not play nice. And with that, Helmasaur King is down. If this is a sword, it's a go mode. Just saying. No, it's an arrow refill. Yeah, just to piggyback off what chat mentioned, yeah, there are some weird things that this rando does. Now Aku is in Eastern to finish this dungeon up. There is an item on the boss. That's a map, though. Hayfield's heading to where the bow was. The question is, will Hayfield finish the dungeon or bail? There's the bow for Hayfield and is gonna bail. So yeah, Aku's definitely in the lead at this point, no doubt about it. It could still come down to a left-right GT call. Or some other weird shenanigans, but who knows at this point, really? Oh, the arrow was eaten up by the smaller enemy and not the Igor. Unfortunate. Now, we've seen a cane of Berna and a bow in Meyer, and that other item being on the green pendant, so yeah, it's highly unlikely, but it's possible that the swords could have rolled big bomb, green pendant. It would not only be weird, it would also be disgusting. I think Aku got hosed on that shot because I honestly thought he got the hit. I would. Because Silverless Master Sword is not a fun taunt. Nice recovery. That is a no for a sword on the Armos. So now we've got an interesting proposition here. I need two sets of numbers here. I need a 1 through 22 for Ganon's Tower Big Key, and a 1 through 27 for a sword or swords. Yes, we are taking swords for 400 in this particular case. I'm going for craziness. Big key at 3, swords at 16th check, the big chest, and Moldorm 2 chest. And here comes Aku into GT as Hayfield's closing in on Helma. Doesn't look like it was in the Hope room, rather the torch, because the torch was a small key. Four, 5, rather 3, 4, 5, no dice. 6, no dice, and Aku's gonna peel out and maybe go Dark Magician here. Six and 7, no and no. Will we see a tile room here? With that item layout, no. Not yet, anyway. Knowing I need a sword and a big key, I would have been tempted personally, but that's just me. Here's a mushroom at number 8. So that opens up a remote possibility of a sword at the witch's hut. Yeah, Aku's definitely going Dark Magician here. There's the big key, but there's no point in mirroring. I lost count on that, unfortunately. So now we get Armos on ice. Behind Armos on ice, we have 10 arrows, good pickup a map, 3 bombs. You have the big key. You might as well go upstairs and check the big chest now. And if there's nothing there, go left side. This is unreal. Like, I have not seen a seed be this stingy on swords since the last time I played a seed that put a couple of swords in GT. And it's been a while. It's been months. Wow, okay. Chat, who in the chat room called for Master Sword in the big chest? Because that is, wow. Go mode at the Ganon's Tower big chest. I have not seen that before, and I am admittedly at a loss. Aku is first in go mode because the game pulled the ultimate nasty. There's gotta be at least one more sword in here with how this seed has turned out. Holy smokes. Yeah, for Aku, tempered would be big here because silvers are right outside, and if he doesn't know it, he ain't going for it. See how this GT pans out for Hayfield. Starting left, this is either full left or Dark Magician like Aku did. Wow, what a seed. Holy smokes. I cannot believe the shenanigans this seed did for go mode. This is, like, unreal. Looks like a Dark Magician. Will Hayfield stop in the tile room? Or just keep going? Uh-oh, health warning for Aku. Half a heart. This is where life, oh no, runs into the Sparky, and that's a death. Back to start, but a fairy. Game over. Nope. Aku must have picked up a fairy, and I didn't see it. So we're all good. So it was 2 from before the big chest. That was a tremendous call. Otherwise, Aku would be redoing the climb. And fairies can be very helpful in a situation. Oh, and Hayfield's mirroring again, this time opting to go back left. This is an interesting GT strategy, I have to admit. Wow, nice boomerang strat. It's the double boomerang strat on left side GT. You love to see it. There's Tempered Sword in the chest before Moldorm 2, so Aku is gonna get bailed out by that being a second sword because in GT, because now Silver's list becomes less of a pain. And it's 10 arrows at Moldorm 2. So now the only things we haven't accounted for in GT, tile room. That's it. We also have a mushroom turn-in, which could also be a sword. We also have Big Bomb, that's about it. Now we have Agonometry, that's 2 to start. And yeah, Green Pendants could also be a sword here. And Aghanim's decided to blue ball. So what Wallkicks is saying is that Tile Room is a sword. Is that what I'm picking up on? Wow, we have not had a 3-sword GT steed in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen one. Steed was generous with the items, but with the swords, it decided to choose evil. Master Sword pickup for Hayfield Bay, that's go mode. He's going outside to get those silver arrows. Then he's going to start the climb. Oh, this is going to be a very good phase 2 for Aku. Just spin and win. Instead, just going to smack the heck out of Ganon because this seed was mean. There's silvers for Hayfield. And as good as that's got to feel, knowing that you basically had to go the full game, only basically full clear the game for all intents and purposes, only for 3 swords to be in Ganon's tower. Absolutely disgusting. Now it's spin to win time for Aku, who did get the torch glitch. And chat brings up a very good point. In a sword mode, GT first, then everything else. Especially Overworld, because this time the Overworld was saying, nope, 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 nope. That's the 12th spin. Down goes Ganon. We got bacon. Get your GGs in chat for Aku, who pulls through a rather difficult seed in terms of combat, finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 52 seconds. That is third overall and the win on Restream. Your other two finishing times, 1:33.16 and 1:33.26. Hitsuyan with the win. Shire finishing a mere 10 seconds behind. Holy smokes, that must have been a tremendous run between the two of them. Just 7 runners on this afternoon, but still, this was a very difficult seed and a very good finish for Aku. Yeah, Uncle liked money so much he just gave you $20, sent you on your way. There's Tempered Sword for Hayfield. Tempered Silverless will be an easier Ganon fight, but even so, Tempered Silvers or not is an easier time compared to Silverless Master Sword. Because that's the worst. Now here's the agonometry for Hayfield. Triple to open. Love to see it. Triple, a double, and now the single to complete the cycle of 3 of the countdown. 3, 2, 1, Aga's dead. And we've got Hayfield already in phase 2. Now phase 3. Final quake, here comes the Silvers. So Aku finished first on Restream, third overall. Nice double for Hayfield, and that's going to do it. Get your GGs in chat for Hayfield. And he will finish with a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, 30 seconds. That's 5th overall, 2nd on Restream. Your 4th place finisher was Data Plet with a time of 1:43.06. We are now joined by Aku, our winner on Restream today. GG, what a seed. My
For the
goodness.
GG, and yeah, no sword until GT, and then finding 2.
Yeah, that was absolutely that was just gross. Like, there was an older version of the randomizer that used to do that a lot. So to see it happen again was just a flashback to that older version. It was just like, ugh. And I had a tournament race like that, but it was open mode, so it was like, yeah, gross. All gross in that regard. In fact, it was pretty interesting between you and Hayfield today, because Hayfield got boots. Okay, I'm trying to think here. Hayfield didn't quite get boots quick enough. Chad's gonna have to help me on my memory here, because it's been a wild seed.
Oh, it was a wild seed.
I'm trying to think who got boots when is what I'm trying to figure out, because that was an early swing point. But the real swing point, you went into Meyer first. Hayfield went into Desert. Desert was Big 20, Big 20.
Okay.
While Meyer was Cana Bow. That wound up being the big difference. Oh yeah, those silvers were on the Ether tablet.
I
And you never
figured that
checked that.
that was the only thing I did not check up there.
Yeah, so you had the boots first, and Hayfield got the boots later. That was also a big difference in this seed. Oh, speaking of, we now have Hayfield Bay in the booth. GG.
Hey,
You both hung in there through a very rough combat seed. Holy smokes.
Yeah, holy smokes! Getting that fluting cack. And when did I get boots? At like 50 minutes.
Yeah, Aku got boots way sooner.
That really sucked. And also pick up that bomb bus in Skull Woods. Have a slow ice palace as well.
That Ice Palace was just slow, and I was using cape and fighter sword strats so I wouldn't die in that room.
Oh man.
Used up both of my green potions.
Oh yeah. Definitely, yeah. At least for me here, everything that could go wrong went wrong here. Late boots, slow ice, and then decision to go Pod Eastern before Meyer. Tried to hover Hookshot Cave, failed. Went back up again after boots. So yeah, you can name it. It was absolutely worst case scenario.
Now, Hayfield, you had the knowledge of a bow on the Ether tablet. Before you went into GT, did that influence your routing decision any?
Yeah, at least it did affect me a lot. Can I please just get a sword? Try to route in. Yeah, I know that I should have left after Fire Rod with one item left in Swamp, but I was like, no way. Everyone is going to leave, and I'm going to pick up the sword to get the only bow because there are 2 swords in GT. But that theory wasn't correct.
Yeah, that would have been a nice way for the theory to have panned out, and that powder unfortunately didn't pan out for anything. Apparently, chat pointed out that somebody found a sword in Tile Room, making this a rare 3-sword GT. Like, I honestly haven't seen anything like this in a long time, so I'm about as bewildered as anybody by how this seed went.
Yeah, wow.
3 swords in GT. That's crazy. I don't think I've experienced that.
Yeah, it's definitely a fringe case in the modern randomizer. An older version of the randomizer, it used to do that quite a bit, and drew the ire of members of the community at the time. So yeah, that was not a fun experience, I assure you. So something like this in today's rando is an edge case.
Yeah. What to do?
Just play the seed, have fun with it's what I say.
Yeah, that's all we can do is play it and have fun.
Agreed.
Even though this seed, whew, I don't know what Professor Render has been feeding the bot, but I might suggest changing things up to make the seeds a little less mean. Because tough combat seeds like this, that tends to be rough on just about everybody.
Definitely rough. I have nothing more to say about this seed.
I was just happy I found that sword in big chest and then another one on top.
Like, I can't even think of the last time I saw major progression in the big chest of Ganon's tower. Like, oh, mind blown. So with that, any final thoughts on today's seed as well as today's mode?
No, thank you for having us here. Thank you for the stream. Like we said, it was a rough one, but yeah, it is what it is with rando.
Yeah, rando's gonna rando, as they say, and this one randoed hard. With that, that's going to do it for us here for the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race over on Speed Gaming. Feel free to give both our runners a follow, Akuhaish and Hayfield Bay. They both did an incredible job with this incredibly difficult seed on a combat level. Also, feel free to give our tracker, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, or myself a follow if you feel so inclined. I do a number of different randomizers myself. And I want to look at the schedule for the day. Next up on the docket at 6:10 tonight on this very channel will be a match in the Final Fantasy I Randomizer Winter Tournament. And that's going to be Dark Moon EX versus Pickles and Beer. That just sounds like a good snack to have for some. And then later on, 8:40 after that, Luffy DV versus Shumbabi, also Final Fantasy I Winter Random. And that's it for your Tuesday on Speed Gaming. So, on behalf of our tracker, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, and everybody behind the scenes at Speed Gaming, I'm Leslie Pro. Stay kind, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.